Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to cover the introduction to RSI. What is RSI? It is the Relative Strength Index and it actually indicates momentum. So this is pretty similar to stochastics and I covered that in the previous video. But now what I'm going to do is we're going to go into indicators and we are going to select RSI, the Relative Strength Index. At this point, let me just bring this up and I can actually, okay, let's just double click this and we'll see it much better. So a lot like the stochastic, the RSI is going to show you points that price was oversold and prices that were overbought basically. Now the settings that I personally use for the Relative Strength Index are as follows. We're going to go to settings. I like to use 4 instead of 14 and leave it at the close. And on style, just like my Bollinger Bands, my upper bands are going to be red, my lower bands are going to be blue. Okay. I like to eliminate the background, and you can select any color you want for the actual RSI in itself. You know, I like to use solid lines, and this is basically similar to how I keep the settings on the stochastic. Let me just make these stick. All right, let me make these stick. Okay. And my upper band setting is going to be 75. My lower band setting is going to be 25. And of course, you can actually save it as default, of course, and we click OK. Now, several things here, okay? There's 4 ways how we're going to use the RSI. Number 1 is we're going to use it for trigger-based entries. Now, you know, above the red line is overbought, below the blue line is oversold, right? So what we're going to do, a lot like the stochastic, is we'll wait for the crossing on these lines to use as entry triggers. So just because something is overbought or because something is oversold, it doesn't mean for us to rush into an entry where we take it going the opposite direction. We're actually going to wait until price from the overbought level crosses down the red line to consider it as a confirmation for a sell. And we're going to wait for price coming from the oversold area to cross up the blue line before we consider that a confirmation for a buy. Now, just like in the trending market, let me just double click this. In the trending market, this is a downtrend here. Okay, we are going to actually look for positions that are overbought and we're going to wait for it to cross the red line. Now, if we don't see here, that's okay. All right, we'll just wait for that opportunity. Now, during an uptrend, we're going to be waiting for positions that are oversold and they are crossing up the blue line before we consider that confirmation for a buy. So we use it for several things: trigger entries, also getting in on trend pullbacks. And another thing that you can do is you can actually take a horizontal ray, or actually we'll take a horizontal line and we'll come right over here to the 50 line. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right over here to the 50 line. And you could turn it to whatever color you want. It could be black, it could be whatever you want. Okay, and kind of similar to how my Bollinger Bands are for the most part, you can actually use the middle line as a trigger as well. So during an uptrend, you could use it as a trigger for a potential buy. During a downtrend, you could use it as a trigger for a potential sell. Now, you can also use these for exit strategies as well. So let's just say that you got in on this cross, okay, for a buy. Okay, well, you're going to want to exit right at the top band. Okay, so you can just take profits. That's a safe way to do it. Same way how if you took a sell over here at the cross of the red line, you could pretty much pull out on profits as soon as it touches the bottom line here. Okay, or you could use the middle band, a lot like how we use the middle band in the Bollinger Bands. Okay, now you can also look for divergence as well, because it's actually going to give you some clues here. Okay, so divergence is basically when price action is telling you one thing and the indicator is telling you another. Remember that the RSI is a momentum based indicator, so if momentum dies down in the RSI, it's only a matter of time before the market starts reversing. So that is basically my uses for the RSI. And when you combine it with the power of other indicators, such as the Bollinger Bands, when you combine it with the power of, let's say, stochastic as well, then you'll be able to be a master at trading as long as you collect your confirmations. You're going to see in my live trading, and you're also going to learn in my live training sessions that I shoot for multiple confirmations before I enter any buy or any sell. So I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you on the other side.